Mono versus fluorocarbon, like what is the dang difference? If you're like me, you might not know. But the mystery will be unraveled today because I've got the two experts, the professor himself, and we're at Oceans East. We've got the owner, Jimmy Hilsman here in Nags, North Carolina. And so in this video, we're gonna talk about the differences, the pros, the cons of mono versus fluorocarbon. And by the end, you're gonna know which is the right one for you. All right, friends, like I said, we're here at Oceans East in Nags, North Carolina. We love these guys. We've got a great relationship with them. Jimmy, the owner here, he has invited us in, our whole community in, to learn from him. And it gives us an opportunity to really talk about these products and put our hands on it and answer a lot of the questions that you might have, certainly that I have had and will continue to have. Fluoro versus mono is one of those that, as I got into this offshore world, I was like, man, I don't really fully understand the differences, the pros and the cons. Somebody comes to you, Jimmy, and they're just getting going and they're saying, okay, how much fluoro do I need? How much mono do I need? When should I use this for my leader, right? Let's talk about it. What are the big differences and what are the reasons that drive someone towards that?
So first I ask them, what are you gonna be fishing for?
Okay.
Like I always do, because that kind of gives me an idea of what's necessary and what's not necessary. Certain fish that they want to fish for, like a yellowfin tuna in summer months, I think fluorocarbon is very important around here.
Okay. Reason being?
Pretty water, hot water, fish get pounded really hard around here. Other places like up north, they're fishing green water a lot. I don't think it's as important. The fish aren't gonna be able to see the line in that, that green or blended water up there like they can down here in that hot, pretty water.
Just to make it clear for those that are just really learning this, there's a visibility difference between mono and fluoro. And so that visibility difference is what?
With the fluorocarbon, it blends in with the water where they can't see it.
Yes.
Or see it as much.
So fluoro should be more invisible to the fish.
Correct.
We haven't asked the fish, but based on experience, this is what they've told us.
And I played with it before. Years ago when we first started using fluorocarbon, I put half my spray fluorocarbon, same diameter mono on the other half, and I did see a difference. In the pretty water. Blended water, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If they're gonna hit you, they're gonna hit you. But in pretty water, I do see a difference.
Now let me ask you a question. How about the difference between a mono leader versus a fluoro leader and abrasion resistance?
Yeah, well, the fluorocarbons, depends on the brand of fluorocarbon. Seagar has a blue label and a Premier. The
difference being?
Blue label, very, very tough. Premier, soft. So a lot of the guys up north that are fishing for bluefins and yellowfins just drifting at night or sitting still, they like this soft Premier. Down here in this region, I could hardly even sell any Premier. It's all trolling stuff, which is a stiffer line. So
Interesting.
This is what my guys like trolling. So it's crazy depending on the area what the guys like more.
And the reason that is because if you have a live bait over and a fish comes and grabs it, he'll be able to feel that stiffer leader in his mouth. That's why you would use a softer one in that application.
Oh, I had never considered that before.
Yeah. It's that's the whole thing about this fishing. You've got to think so far into it. Especially you spend all of this money to go fish. You get all your gear, you buy the rods, you buy the reels, and you want to optimize your chances of catching a fish. And little things like this is how you do it.
So the person that is going to mainly use mono, they're probably fishing for what?
I'm dolphin fishing.
Yes?
There's no need
they don't
for
care.
fluorocarbon.
Okay.
I try, people ask me, look guys, don't waste your money. A lot of people come here thinking that they need fluorocarbon for a dolphin. And then, I'm like, yeah.
You don't.
Dolphin are so hungry most of the time. You could have anything out there and they're gonna come in there and grab it. I mean, a lot of days when we're bailing dolphin, and a gaffer comes in, you could put a chunk of squid on any kind of hook and throw it out, they're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
They're not like a tuna that comes up. A lot of times people never even know that they're back there, and they'll look almost come up and eat something, and they'll go back down. I've seen some underwater footage up here, and they'll come up again, and go back down, and just something's not right,
Right.
they will not hit.
Right.
So yeah,
So much more picky. Mahi, not so much.
big time.
So the person that's
Night
just
and
going
day.
for Mahi, they might be exclusively using mono, and you can still
Probably.
obviously catch tuna on that. It's
Yeah, I mean,
just
they can use fluorocarbon if they want. It's not going to hurt them, obviously. But
right.
I'd probably save my money.
Anybody else mainly using mono that you would, point them towards, or is that probably the only application?
Offshore fishing, dolphins when I'd use my mono, or if the water's green, I'd
Green
use
water,
mono
right.
leader and stuff.
Now the pricing difference roughly is what?
Probably more than triple, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking more than that.
More than
yeah.
that, probably.
So
yeah.
more than so it's a massive difference.
Oh, it's not even comparable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on Speechless, what do we use?
Well, we use Fluoro on all of our leaders.
Okay.
Just because I don't want there to be a question in my head that we don't
Could it have been?
Could it have been? You know what I mean? Because these people are spending their hard-earned money that they work hard for to go fishing with us. I want to optimize all of our chances. So I leave nothing out for excuses with that. So we use the House Ocean Z spray and Fluoro.
So if someone says, in terms of just like logistical, how you set it up, length and all that, does it not change mono versus fluoro? Does like the overall setup of your leader, is it always the same regardless of what type you use?
I mean, you could put, say you're fishing mono. A lot of charter guys that haven't switched over to fluorocarbon, they use a longer mono leader. Like, they'll change out leader every single day. With my fluorocarbon leader, I cut it back. I cut it back every day. I'm really anal about that. I'll cut it back about this far. If there's any chafe, I cut it back.
Any chafe you cut back,
But
yeah.
a lot of the guys using mono, end of the day or on the way back in, cut every leader off tuna fishing and put a fresh one. And fluorocarbon, most of the time I use about a 30-foot leader, at 24 to 30-foot leader. Yellowfin fishing, well, guys using a lot longer ones mono because it doesn't cost you much, so you just cut it off and start over the next day.
I hadn't considered that. So so hopefully this is helping you. Clearly we know fluoro's much better because it's more invisible. We know that it's mainly what everyone uses, certainly the pros, unless you are just mahi fishing, or unless the water is such, the color is such that where it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Anything else, Professor, as someone is debating this or just looking at this and are trying to understand the difference, that you think they should know?
Well, again, you spend all the money to go get all the gear, get the boat, or
The fuel.
or you charter a boat to go fishing. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. You use what you know works, and if it's not for nothing else but for my peace of mind, because I second guess myself all day long. And if I had mono leaders back there,
I've seen this.
and I didn't get a bite the first 2 hours, all that would be cut right off, and I had to mate back there rigging something else. So it's not only about what works for the fishing world, but up here it needs to work too.
Yeah, that's
So
a great point. And the great thing too is, if anybody's watching this and they want to order, let's say, reels from you because they've seen our other videos that we've done where we've talked about reels and whatnot, different brands, different comparisons, you will send any of this stuff along with it. I mean, you get them starter kits and everything.
I mean, what we'll do with some of these guys, they want us to put the leader on there and everything on there. Obviously we'll put the hollow core backing, braid backing, mono top shot. I'll even put, Spro crank on swivel to their line with the leader, and they're ready to go fishing. So, if it's a local pickup, we'll put the rods together, sea witch on there, or whatever bait that they want to use tuna fishing. All they got to do is pick it up and go out the door and go fishing.
That's
That's a chauffeur a fishing service there, Professor.
Well, we'll do it all for our customers. We appreciate every customer that walks through these doors, no matter if they spend a dollar or several $1,000s, and we want to do whatever we can to help make their fishing day a lot easier. So whatever it takes.
That is tremendous, and this is why we use these guys. And again, Professor, the leader that we use, the brand is what?
The Ocean East has a house brand here, and that's what we use.
And we've been using that before we even met, Jimmy. And the reason why you like that so much.
Well, the price point. You buy it in bulk, and you get a lot for your money, more than you would get in any of the other brands.
Right. So we're
it's
using
very, very similar to the Moy. I mean, The diameter is basically identical to the Momoy 90
Yep.
pound, which is what we always used.
And plus, I have it in my head that it works.
I would say it's
And that
worked
makes
for
a
you the last
difference.
several years using it. So,
And that makes
yep.
a difference.
We
So,
have confidence in. That's right.
so make sure you come visit us here in North Carolina. These guys are right next to us. I mean, basically, we're just down the street. Of course, we are found speechless sport fishing at Pirates Cove Marina. We're slip number 92. And so come see us and then come see these guys, get some shirts, get some gear. Until the next time, everyone, stay salty.